All right, it's time for the first clutch, the 2021 season. T negative to Goldeneye, 20 eggs, laid on the 25th of March, pipped on the 29th. As you can see, they're all starting to come out. It's been about 48 hours since the first pip. Everybody pipped naturally. There was no egg cutting or manual egg cutting on this one. Clutch 1 of the 2021 season. T negative albino to Goldeneye. As I mentioned previously, these guys pipped about 48 hours ago and have started coming out. So that's our cue to start moving people over. So we have a couple firsts for us this year. The first of which is a walk-in closet that we've converted to an incubator. The second is that we have brought our temperatures lower, which increases the amount of incubation time and allows the snakes to absorb more of their yolk. So you will see the results of that at the same time that we will. The third thing that we're doing for first is we are going to do communal housing for hatchlings. See if we notice any behavioral differences, whether they eat better or worse, just to give it a test run. So we are going to start putting these guys away. There should be no rhyme or reason to how we're putting stuff, where we're putting it. Just whatever's ready is ready. So we are going to be putting these guys in ARS 50/40 containers. It's pre-set up with damp paper towel and a water bowl. And what we will do is we're going to move these guys over and spray them down. We will have to keep an eye out for when we do spray them and there's multiples in a group, because they have a tendency to get a little nippy. So we're going to start with the obvious stuff, and I'm going to try to act tough. We're going to pull out the Goldeneyes, or whatever's out already. It's a nice Goldeneye. A lot of color. So what we've noticed in the 8 years that we've been producing Goldeneyes is that the color that they hatch with is often an indication of their color that they will have when they mature. Goes the first one. Do a little spray. You'll see they get a little upset about it, so we're not going to be too crazy. Some people like to wash them off in a sink. We prefer to spray them. Wow, this one is absolutely amazing. I'm really happy with the pattern so far. It's another little Goldeneye. They look amazing, guys. They don't have any big bellies, which is indicative of them not properly absorbing their yolks, hatching too soon, or there being problems. And their bellies appear to be closed up. This is what you shoot for when you're incubating. Awesome head stamps on these guys too. They're really good looking. All right. A little wiry. So another one, good color. You can see some of the goop coming off on my hands. They are very, very slippery and slimy, and they will flop out of your hands. They are, oops, he just bit himself. Okay. So that was it for the low-hanging fruit in that basket. So I'm going to start going through and opening these guys up. So empty egg, empty egg. Put that stuff right there. Empty egg, that's 3 of them, yes. I'm just gonna go with the ones closest to me, no real specific order. So, as I had mentioned previously, all of these guys naturally pipped, which is really awesome to see, and they all did it relatively around the same time. That is awesome. It's a little bit different than what we normally see, though. Oftentimes you have a pretty big disparity. It could be a day, 2 days between when the first one pips to the last one, but these guys all pipped within 24 hours and all just pretty much did the same exact thing, which I'm hoping is the incubator changes or a benefit of. So, as you can see here, they use a little tooth on the end of their nose that cuts the eggs. You can see all the slices in it, slices, slices. The eggs soften up towards the end of the incubation period. That helps them do that, and allows them to do that. So I'm going to very carefully, boop, open this up here. I don't really like these scissors. Okay, so come on, kiddo. I'm going to help this guy come out a little bit. We're looking for no big bellies. Just a big slimy. Belly's already sealed up. He looks awesome. I'll put him over there. That one has a lot less pattern than the other ones. Okay, this is gonna get a little messy. Try not to clean that 27 times. All right, we've got one here that appears to be a normal. Maybe we just do it that way. It's got a couple different slices in there. 1, 2, 3. So all of these guys are ready to come out, but for whatever reason, they like to hang out inside of their warm, slimy, stinky egg. Probably a security thing. A nice little normal. Just gonna give them a little gentle nudging here. Nice and slimy. Belly closed. Ugh. Amazing. So as you can see, we're a little bit gentle with our stuff. We consider ourselves extremely lucky to work with these animals and don't see any benefit at all tossing them around. So we like to be gentle. All right, let's go with this one here. I'm gonna try the little scissors. I don't like using these ones because it's got such a sharp point, but they're smaller and much easier to work with. Boop. So for those of you who don't know anything about Goldeneyes, it's actually an incomplete dominant trait, which means that there's 2 stages of their pattern gene. So this is stage 1. So this is essentially 1 copy of the Goldeneye gene. See, little squirmies, and they like to bite. Come on, kiddo. There we go. All right, so that guy's a little bit smaller than the other ones, which is pretty interesting. There's no indication in the egg, no difference in the size of the egg, but it is definitely smaller. This one here, you can tell is a normal from the color and pattern on the head. And this guy had a cutting party. So if I hadn't mentioned it already, this is day 67. As part of the lower incubation temperatures, it has increased the incubation time from about the 60 that we've seen average to 65 on this clutch. And everybody is definitely ready to come out. Well, physically, maybe not mentally. Come on, kiddo. There it is, yeah. Coming out with teeth already, huh? Good for you. Nice looking pattern on this one. I think that is the influence of the T negative, personally. It's got some good gradation in the reddish brown coloration. And I'll put it now next to this other one that's a lot cleaner. And you can see the difference in the pattern. That thing is awesome. Hi, baby. What are you doing? Hi. What's up? What's up, kiddo? I know you're a killer, huh? Great big killer blood python. You're so angry. Okay, moving on. Pan over. Girls, what are you guys doing? Do you want to help us? Huh? Okay. The natives are getting restless. It's a little bit colder in here. They're coming from an incubator, like I said, that's 87-ish degrees. And now they're in this room, which while it's kept warmer than everywhere else, is still only 80, 82 degrees. So it's quite a bit of a temperature variation from what they've been in. A little slime ball. Looks amazing. This one looks like a normal, just a quick sneak peek. You can see the coloration of the head and the sides there. Another awesome pattern, color. So we bought the original Goldeneyes that we have in 2008. The genes themselves weren't exactly new. The Barkers had been working with them for quite some time, but they were still fairly new in the marketplace. So we got in on the project fairly early, and we wanted all of our original stock to not be het for anything. So we bought normal Goldeneyes, not het for anything. And we wanted to build up our own stock of everything that we were working with. We wanted to make our own het for albino T positive, het for albino T negatives. This guy's a little wild. So that's the direction that we took. Much lighter head on that one. So here we are, fast forward to 2021, and we're using our original female that we bought, het for nothing, and we are breeding it to A T negative, also raised from a baby that we've had for an extremely long time, who also just so happens to be a karma maker, T negative, but I'm not going to complicate that now. So this is the first time that we're using our original stock to make hets. This particular group here, again, het T negative. The male has amazing coloration. And I think that we're already starting to see, the coloration in the babies. I think I can give you a quick peek of dad here. So that's dad. Great coloration, beautiful white head. As I mentioned before, he is a karma maker. We've been raising that guy since 2011, so he's been with us for 10 years. Followed a couple clutches, so we already know that his coloration breeds true, good strong genetics. So that's what was important to us, was to be able to control our projects completely. No hats, no possible hats in the beginning. And we were going to pick and choose what direction our project was going to go in. So 2021 has kind of been a focus on that. How do we make the stuff that we want to work with? And I have to be honest with you, I'm extremely excited with what I'm seeing here. Come on, kiddo, you want to come out? I know you don't, do you? Oh, look at that color. Look at that color. He's just another little small one. Okay, so I want to show you guys something here. This guy's very small. His stomach is closed off. He looks great, not a big belly or anything like that, but look inside of his egg. There's a big mass there. So maybe at some point it was twisted off, or that was just bad material and it did not absorb it. I'm very happy to see, though, that the snake did everything that it was supposed to. It doesn't have a big open belly or anything like that. That's a positive for sure. So we don't often see a significant disadvantage for the smaller stuff. So as long as they eat, and that goes for any baby blood python, as long as they start to eat on their own, they all generally do very good. In this box right now, I see 3 normals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Goldeneyes. That's a really good odds there. We do have a second box though, so we'll see how that turns out. All right, we're on to box 2. Box 1 had 3 normals, 7 Goldeneyes. We'll see how we did on this one. So we've got a nice little normal here. Belly looks great. Good tongue flicker, responsive. It's amazing. Couple Goldeneyes in here. Again, good coloration, good bellies. They're all closed. They don't all seem to be psychopaths, which is nice. Hatchling blood pythons can be a little feisty. They like to bite and nip at stuff, but their teeth are so small that it's more of an annoyance than anything. Ugh, egg goo. Egg goo is nasty. Okay. So some of you may be wondering why it is that we have 2 egg boxes. Why not just throw everything into one container? Well, for starters, snake eggs like to draw in moisture through the first part of their incubation period, development period, and then the second half of their development period, they will start to expel moisture. As part of that process, the eggs will generate heat on their own. And in our opinion, if you have too many in there too close, it can affect the development of other eggs. So we have always practiced splitting up the clutches depending on the size. So for these particular containers, we do roughly about 10 eggs each. Nice little normal, good tongue flick, closed belly, some nice coloration and pattern. Something else that isn't evident in these containers, because the babies that had already come out moved everything around, we will nest the eggs somewhat close together during the first week of incubation, just so they don't roll around. They're usually quite the eggs aren't super malleable when they're first laid, so they hold their shape well, and they like to roll around, especially if you have to move the container over via cart or carry it. So we'll nest them together so that they don't roll. And then about a week into the incubation process, they've started to develop a flat spot at the bottom of the eggs, at least in our containers. So then we will take them and we'll separate them so that there's enough space in between all of the eggs that they can get good airflow, and that their access to the temperature in the incubator is consistent all the way around the egg. It's not being blocked by another egg. And all of that supports our suspension incubation method that we use. So as long as we have been working with snake eggs, we have been doing what's called a suspension method incubation process. And we will do a much more in-depth video. So we were talking about the incubation method briefly. So we do a suspension method, and we do not use any substrate. So we will have a certain volume of water underneath a platform that the eggs rest on, making sure to leave plenty of room for an air exchange. And that's what we use. It provides plenty of moisture during the incubation process, and none of the mess, which is really a big part of why we do it, and that it just works. So there's always water available. Oh, Jesus, they're slippery. So we do have some unruly little creatures in this one. You can see the normal on top of the water container. We put that there because he's just lashing out at everybody. He's bit some of his little container mates there and is already latched onto my finger pretty solidly. So there you go. Do seem to be balancing out a little bit on the normals here. So with the inheritance of an incomplete dominant single gene animal like what we have here, you should see roughly 50% Goldeneyes and 50% wild type. So wild type is referenced for what you could expect to generally find in the wild. And that is normally a dominant attribute. This is a wild type. So now we have 4 of those in this clutch. So right now we're still a little bit heavy on the Goldeneye numbers, but the wild type is going to take another wild type here. Come on, I know, right? So again, perfect belly. It's already closed up. It's exactly what you want to see. I'll put you over there because your buddy's just angry. Down to the last two. Oh, I don't know. I can't tell. Is that a 2 Goldeneyes or a normal Goldeneye? I know this one's a Goldeneye. It's easy. You can tell by the excellent coloration. Trying to hurry up a little bit now because these guys are getting crazy. The second box is much more wild than the first one. So another beautiful Goldeneye, perfect in every way. Another wild type here. This is the last one, so that puts us at 2, 4, 5, 6 in this one. So 11 Goldeneyes and 9 normals all carry a single copy of the T- gene. And when matched up with another copy, we'll create T negatives. If you want to see updates on this clutch, you can find our Instagram page, Giantkeeper_Reptiles. We like to share most of our photos there, easy to access. And we will do some follow-up photos. 20 babies, and this is the only one that's going crazy. Biting everything, biting everybody, biting me. He just only knows one move, and that's mouth open and teeth. As you can see, he just got me there. Doesn't really hurt.